Several area United Methodist churches have joined together to sponsor a senior adult series. Held in partnership with other aging-related organizations, including Council on Aging of West Florida, the series will offer educational sessions and an exercise program. Here to tell us more is Anna Dice, Community Health Services Coordinator with West Florida Area Health Education Center, one of the presenting partners. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Jeff. It's good to be here.
Well, I know y'all have all come together, and there's a lot, and we would be here all day to mention everyone, but
Yes.
we appreciate all of you and everyone. They know who they are there. So why have these groups come together to host this series? What's the goal?
Sure. Well, Dr. Donna Jacoby really kind of created this brainchild. She took a survey of her seniors and found that there were a number of issues where they didn't have any idea of what they needed to know to age in place successfully. And so she started the process of getting all these groups together, and she's quite a consensus builder. If you've ever worked with her, you know that.
She's a wonderful lady.
Exactly. So she brought all those groups together to kind of make this happen.
Well, great. She is a very wonderful collaborator. Well, I understand it's called Strengthening Brain and Body.
Absolutely.
So how does that fit into the overall picture that you're going to be providing to people?
Sure. So there'll be two components. So there's going to be an education piece that happens each Monday, and then following that an exercise class, and then on the following Wednesday, another session of that exercise class, kind of trying to work both of those aspects at the same time.
Okay. When we talk about the educational component, what are the primary areas of focus? You mentioned helping people age in place, but what might some of the topic areas be?
Sure. So sort of advanced planning, long-term care, in-home care, what home health can provide for you, dementia services, issues associated with Alzheimer's care, caregiver stress. We've put together kind of just about everything. Hospice care, when she did kind of an informal survey, had found that lots of folks didn't know what hospice services were, what they could offer, when that's appropriate. And so the more information we can give folks, the better choices they can make for their...
What do you think are going to be some of the real takeaways that they're going to learn?
Well, the intention is to have tools and to have a knowledge set to know what decisions they want to make about staying in their homes for aging, or if they want to make adjustments for that. One of the sessions will be about kind of adaptations you can make in your home so that that's more accommodating as your body ages and mind ages. So the intention is that folks will be able to walk away with kind of a toolbox of information and techniques to be able to age where they want to.
Well, I know y'all kicked this off on St. Patrick's Day with
Yes.
a kickoff session. What kind of feedback did you get?
Great feedback. We had lots of good seniors coming through and meeting with lots of vendors and folks. And the intention is that we connect people with folks who have the answers to the questions they have.
Well, great. Well, before we go any further, let's talk about when and where, because this is
Right.
going to be going on through almost the middle of May, I believe.
Absolutely. So it'll be at Gadsden Street United Methodist Church, which they always say is a block south of the Krispy Kreme. So if you live in Pensacola, we know where that is. And all the classes will be held there.
Okay. Now let's talk about, you said the exercise component.
Right.
Is this just knowledge-based, or is this bring your tennis shoes and sweatpants?
It's bring your comfortable clothes. That's what it is. It's bring your comfortable
Okay.
clothes. So we'll be doing Tai Chi on Mondays and Wednesdays. And Tai Chi is a very slow-moving, balance-based or kind of balance-focused work. So folks always kind of say, is that what they do in the parks in China? And that absolutely is kind of one example of that. So all you need is comfortable clothes and flat shoes that stay easily on your feet, so you can pick up your foot with.
Well, I know this is an area that you work closely
Yes,
with.
absolutely.
So tell me a little bit, in your experience, why this is so important to include.
Oh, absolutely. So, 1 in 3 seniors are likely to fall. So, in the space of a year, balance work is one of the best ways we can prevent that fall. Tai Chi is a very wonderful kind of meditation in motion, so it's lovely to practice, but also is fantastic for improving balance. And so that's one of the areas we know when we want people to be able to stay in place. Part of being able to do that is being able to do it safely.
So will they learn some exercises that they may be able to do later at home, or
Absolutely.
maybe join a group? What do you advise people to do as far as an exercise program when you go out and do all of the things that you do?
Sure, move. That's the goal, right? Move however you want to move, wherever you want to move. If that's walking, dancing, if you want to try Tai Chi, if you love swimming, whatever it is, the more you move, the better your body moves and the better your balance is. Okay. So that's really the focus.
Now, when will this component be held? Is this the same time, or is it it a different day? Tell us a
It
little
is
bit about
right
that.
after the education session. So 1:30 to 2:30 will be when the classes are held for kind of topics, and then right after that, 2:30 to 3:30 we'll have exercise on Mondays, and then on Wednesdays it'll be from 4 to 5.
So on Wednesdays, it will be exercise only. The sessions won't be a part of it. It'll be exercise.
Exactly. Now the church does offer. They do a dinner at 5:15 on Wednesdays. So if you want to RSVP to the church and stay for dinner, you can get your exercise in, and then hang around for some good fellowship.
Well, great. You mentioned the church and contacting them, and I know that's the point of contact for more information. Tell us a little bit about how people can find out more.
Sure. Yeah. Calling the church office is probably the easiest way. And that number is 433-0014. I never can remember a phone number, Jeff. So, so they can call the church office for that. And I think then it's Gadsden Street at UMC at office, something like that. I think they'll post it up for you.
We'll get it on the screen there.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Well, I think there's good news as far as cost too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. No cost to anybody. Now, dinner on Wednesday nights,
Right.
you have to pay for that. There's nothing we can do for you there. But exercise-wise, education-wise, is all completely free.
Okay, well, I know we've got a list here of the topics handy. Let's talk about some of the topics.
Absolutely. So we'll start out with home design for aging in place. So again, that's talking about how do you adjust and put different aspects in your bathrooms and areas where falls are likely to happen. And then dementia, again, taking you through that whole spectrum of diagnosis and home care, caregiver stress. Long-term care options and financing. So they'll also talk about kind of some of those issues that folks come up with how do I pay for this particular issues. Abuse, neglect, and exploitation. So there'll be some good stuff on that. And then a whole session just attributed to hospice care.
Well, great. So just tell our viewers one more time how they can sign up and where it is and all that.
Sure,
all those good
absolutely.
details.
So at Gadsden Street United Methodist Church, and that number is 433-0014. They can call the office there for more information or for kind of particular topics for each week, and they'll get them all the information that they need.
Okay. Well, one last thing before we go. If you were talking to our viewers here and wanted to convince someone that this is something they really need to check out, what would be your advice?
I think my biggest advice piece is that the more that you know, the better the decision you can make. And so when you come and you get all that information, it may not be the topics that you want to think about right now, but the more that you're prepared to make those decisions, the easier those decisions are and the better they're going to fit your life.
Well, great. Well, thank you for being here, and thank you and your organization for being a part of this.
Sure,
I think
sure.
it's a great thing, and yes, Dr. Jacoby can pull everybody together and come up with some great
amazing consensus
stuff.
builder. It's
So
fantastic.
she's quite a woman. Thank you very much.